Good evening, fellows. How you doing there, Mark and Jay?
Hey, John.
How are you guys doing this evening?
Doing well, thanks.
Good deal. Good deal. We're waiting on the board and possibly a few other folks, and we'll get going there.
Okay, just as a heads up, John, Curtis and I are driving down to meet with the solar guys tomorrow. Jay's going
Okay.
to be presenting for Ultras today, so my
Okay. Great.
reception could be in and out. We'll see. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's great, Mark. Yeah, I got the heads up. You guys kind of expected ETA was around 10 a.m. Yeah, we'll be here all day. I know.
That's that's what we're
Okay.
hoping here. I don't know.
Okay. Good deal. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we'll have you guys. We picked you guys up some donuts. Um, So we'll give you a road snack when you get here.
Beautiful.
Good deal. Well, no, glad to have you guys. Looking forward to it. Looks like it's going to be beautiful weather, and I can probably run the MQ outside the power plant, so we have a little bit of room to think and talk when we're touring the inside of that facility tomorrow too.
Excellent.
Let's see, Alexa, how are you doing this evening?
Doing well, doing well.
Good deal. Trying to get everybody
Yeah.
admitted here. I set these meetings up where people can
Yeah,
get in
just
without
missing
having to.
Mike now, huh? How's the kitty, Amy?
You.
Can't hear you.
Alexa, am I sharing prematurely, or do you have other business before?
Yeah, we'll just have to go through some I don't know. You are number 7. That sounds a lot worse than it is. Because number 1 is call meeting to order. But we're usually pretty fast. Yeah.
No worries. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So let's hang around for a little bit, waiting for Mike.
Did Mike confirm he's going to be able to make it, Alexa? I know he was iffy on
Oh,
the.
he was? Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. He said he
yeah,
wasn't gonna make it.
yeah,
Okay, well then we won't wait for Mike then.
yeah, yeah. No, if
Yeah,
he
he
joins,
actually he
great.
actually said that he might be a bit late. Now I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, good
Late or
thing
not at
you're here,
all.
Amy.
Yeah.
We would not have had a quorum if you hadn't made it back. So
Yeah, can you hear me now?
yes, you're here.
Okay. Yeah, I was concerned. I boogied
Yeah.
home. So
Yeah, you never know how long a drive takes.
yeah.
Okay, well, we're calling the meeting to order. Welcome anyone and everyone, and welcome to our guests, Mark and Jay. Adoption of the agenda is number 1. Looks perfect to me.
I moved to adopt the agenda from June 11th.
Great, I'll second that. Everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approval of the minutes. Actually, we also need to approve the minutes of March. Remember that we've kind of forgot
Yeah.
that at the time. I read through them. They're a little AI-ish, but I don't think there's
Yeah.
anything wrong with them.
Yeah.
So,
Love AI. Less writing.
yeah, that's true. It kind of, I'm starting to recognize the tone of AI, and it always sounds a little stilted and pompous, but
Yeah.
as long as it says what it needs to say, I'm good with it. Have you had a chance to read them, Amy?
Yeah, I agree. You can definitely tell they're AI, but they'll function fine.
Yeah, yeah, and
So I'll move
yeah,
to accept the minutes from, let's see, that was March. Oh, was it March?
yeah.
Oh, March 19th and June 11th.
And I'll second that motion, and everybody in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, review procedures for handling electronic participation. So we're already at number 4. That's how fast this goes. Well, we can still do it according to the Open Public Meeting Acts Amendment of 2020. So we're doing it. Public comment. I don't know Shane, but Shane may be a member of the public, and if he has anything he wants to share
Yeah.
with us, this is the moment.
Yeah, Shane's a new resident and lot owner here. Alexa, he bought some lots kind of across from where Margaret lives. So I know Shane.
Oh, cool. Well,
Yeah.
welcome to Tickaboo. We hope we won't disappoint you, and utilities will not be front of mind most of the time.
Well, thank you very much. It's nice to meet you guys. We're so excited. We're actually heading down right now. We'll be down there for the weekend. So just
Okay.
happy to see. This is my first meeting, so I just interested to see what's going on. So don't pay no mind to me. Thanks so
Okay,
much.
well, if there's anything we can help with, let us know. John and Connie are almost always there.
Yeah,
Um,
will do. John's been really helpful so far already, and Connie was real helpful when I was getting set up and getting everything turned on. So yeah,
oh,
I'm just everyone's been so nice down there. Margaret's been
mm,
wonderful. Other neighbors have come over, and yeah, it's just been great. So
okay,
we're just
well,
glad to be
that's good
part
to
of the
hear.
community.
Not that I would expect anything else from John and Connie, but
Well,
uh,
thanks again,
good
you
to hear
guys.
that confirmed. Okay, board reports
Okay.
and business. Um, Well, everything we have to talk about is, or most of the things we have to talk about is on the agenda. I can give a quick update on what's going on with the water rights. If um, it's all going really, really slow, and I think we're gonna have to ask our attorneys to just file a claim with the courts just to preserve our claim because the statute of limitations will run out in November, and at the speed we're going, nothing will happen before November. I'm still hoping that we can settle this without litigation because clearly we have no money to pay for lawyers for litigation. But if it comes to that, then we'll just have to suck it up and figure out some way to make it work. The development company has been very helpful in finally writing up what their plans are and how realistic they are, so that we can make an argument that our offer was really, really generous. And that if it comes to that, we are in a position to show that we could have used every single acre foot. So that's where that is. Amy, did you have any adventures in TUID land since our last meeting?
I'm happy to say no.
Good. Well, then now I'd like to introduce our guests, Jay and Mark. They're from company called Ultras, and we have been working with them on a power purchase agreement that might reduce the power rates for Tickaboo, and at least the cost that we pay for it. Just a little history. We were working on a grant that with the change of administration was canceled, so we went to look for other options, and we're still looking, and this looks like a good prospect. So Jane, Mark, if you want to take it away and share your presentation and tell us of the current plans.
Well, thank you for having us. My name's Jay Lappin. I'm the Chief Commercialization Officer for Altris. Also on the call, but actually driving down towards you right now is Mark Polson, our CEO. So he is in and out in an effort to, as we all know, the lovely reception on that drive, so that we don't run into any of those challenges. I'm going to go ahead and go through the presentation we have right now, which is a current proposal to TUID regarding our PPA proposal. I'm going to share it now. Can I get a thumbs up? Can you all see it okay?
Yes.
Sure can.
Great, wonderful. Um, what we're looking at and what we're looking to do for TUID kind of breaks it down into the, just, first and foremost, to address the challenges currently with the energy costs to the area, to the residents of the Tikaboo area. So that is what we're here to address. And the way we're going to address that is by deploying a solar energy power system that will cover 84% of TUID's present power usage. Altris, our company, will fully finance this project, installing the solar panels and the battery coverage and so on, and everything that will go into the project, as well as maintaining that project. The effort is to reduce the cost of power for the Tikaboo area by around 50%. Our timeline, which I'll go into in a moment, has a completion or commissioning date of May 2026. So we are, there are some real timelines to be considered so that we maximize cost savings to enhance the power capacity for the Tikaboo area. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Again, the benefits are going to be the cost reduction. It's going to be the energy security, knowing that it's going to be reliable, sustainable power. I know there's been some challenges. John shared those with us in terms of the current generators themselves. So this would be all new equipment. So again, giving that energy security is really important. Is important for your residents. Any questions here before I kind of jump into any further? Okay. What we're proposing is an overall system cost that, again, Altris is going to incur of $2.1 million for a 530 kilowatt solar generation project. The cost for the power generated by the solar energy is around 18.5 cents a kilowatt hour. When you look at it from a blended rate, so of course we're going to continue to use the current generator system, the blended rate will be around 24 cents a kilowatt hour. We shared these early maps as to where we're going to deploy and commission the solar fields, which will be within the TUID area. As we zoom in, these are some of the additional, please understand, these are just renderings of what we've been able to put together.
And you're going to, when Mark is down there, he's going to check if that area is indeed suitable for the installation of solar panels.
Exactly. And that's what our team, our Altris team is going down and meeting with our preferred vendor to get eyes on the ground. I believe, John, you're meeting with them, correct?
Yeah, correct, Jay.
Yeah. And we'll just be able to walk us through because it's your house, and want to be able to be aware. And again, these renderings are from maps and so on. So there might be some changes here, but the goal, of course, is to keep it on the Tikaboo, or pardon me, the TUID land. Okay. And as I said before, we're going to talk just briefly right here of the timeline that we have proposed, again, to make the May 2026 commissioning goal deadline. We've broken it into 6 phases. So the first phase, which we're engaged in right now, so it's kind of zero, before zero, so the clock hasn't started, but we're already working, is to really understand the site evaluation, preparation, and everything we need to know in order to do the final engineering and the final master plan. So in months 2 and 3, the goal will be to be able to complete the engineering and all final design finalizations. Next, once we have the final master plan, we will procure all necessary paneling, inverters, batteries, all the equipment that will go on site and go through all the logistics. That'll be in months 3 and months 4. Following, in months 5 to 7, will be, of course, the installation and integration of the system itself. So this is where we install and we prepare for commissioning. And for those who don't know, commissioning is when we flip the switch and everything turns on, and we turn it so that it generates power. Whoop, that wasn't right. Pardon. My cursor is very sensitive today. Next would be finalizing on that May commissioning date. That's months 8 and 9, pardon me, where we're doing all the testing, final commissioning, and as well as training of staff who will be responsible for managing and upkeep of the system. And of course, the 6th phase will be post installation or commissioning, where we work with the local teams to ensure proper maintenance, upkeep of the system for the proposed 25-year PPA. So thereafter, we would be open, and we're excited to explore other options to increase the capacity for the Tikaboo area of power, as well as further lowering the rates. And we do have a plan for that. And we're really looking forward to exploring those economies of scale and the relationship between TUID and Ultras.
Jay, can you go one slide back
Yes, ma'am.
to help me remember? When you say the warranty coverage for solar panels and inverters and batteries, that is a third-party maintenance? Or is that the level of maintenance that you're guaranteeing?
So Ultras is guaranteeing that, and we'll be working with the install and OEM of the solar panels themselves to ensure, based on their maintenance schedules and so on, that we are hitting all of our markers for warranties and ensuring the system works effectively throughout the 25 years.
But the maintenance commitment and replacement of, this looks really weird. It looks like I'm talking off to the side because I moved it to my larger screen. Yeah, this looks a lot better. So now we can talk.
No
The PPA will contain
language that we will
maintenance of the system through its entire period, irrespective of the periods mentioned here.
That's why it's listed in the post installation. So yeah, I mean, like any technology, things are going to break. And we will be responsible for repairing or replacing those components of the system. Now, the nice part about a system of this nature, if a panel goes down, we will still be generating the majority of, the vast majority of the power. So we will have I think it came up in the last meeting that again, the OEM company, they're going to be, we will receive emails. If a panel is not working, we will
Mhm.
receive a notification that that panel, like we're talking a panel of over, I think 800, pardon me,
Right. Okay.
822
Mm-hmm.
panels. We're going to have panels that go down. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're also going to have a plan to be notified and that we can repair, replace those
Okay.
panels.
Okay, I just want to make sure that the maintenance wasn't limited to the warranty period.
Well, it is for the length of the PPA.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
which is covered under here, the 25 years, but yes.
Yeah.
So mhm.
But if a battery goes out in year 12, that'll still be your problem, not ours.
It'll be our problem because we will be still under the PPA of 25
Okay.
years.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yes.
can you clarify what you mean by the 2-year performance guarantee?
I believe, good question. I'm going to, Mark, are you able to answer this one? Let's cross our fingers.
I pulled that out of the uh agreement that we have with the installer. I think that that's just missing a 5, to be honest.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that's the issue on that one.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that would make great sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good that you're in. Where are you, Mark? Just out of curiosity.
We're just past price.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably will have coverage for a little while then.
Yeah.
Okay. The other comment I have is that the one thing that seems to be missing in that timeline is the documentation of our agreement.
Do you mean the
Like
itself, like
the
signing it off?
contracts and the signing ceremony and all that.
Well, that would have to be in phase one
Right.
before final engineering
Yeah.
thing
Right. And
would occur.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
So
is why when we shared earlier, um, time is of the essence
yeah.
if we want to meet a May deadline. Um, just making sure we can procure the necessary equipment, but also, and I know we are working through the red lines of the PPA right now, but yes, that would need to be ratified.
So
We're happy to have a ceremony.
if we're having a public meeting, we talked about having a public meeting in person in Tickaboo on October 29. If that is kind of immediately followed up by a final decision, would that fit in the timeline?
Could you repeat that question? I'm so sorry.
I believe we can make that happen, Alexa.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that would not be too late. We do not need to pull that forward.
Correct.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. That for now is all the questions I have. I don't know, John, Amy?
Yeah, nothing for me, Alex. I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, I haven't seen this, different times. It's in a good format and, no, we'll all have questions as they come up, but, we're taking the steps, starting with the site visit tomorrow. So no, nothing offhand.
Any
What-
questions in the
One
presentation? I can jump around for you.
one comment I want to make is that this has been a competitive process. Alexa has talked to multiple other solar companies. The next best bid that we were competing against was at 30 cents kilowatt. So we're coming down pretty significantly in cost from there. We just want to make sure that's noted on the public record that this has been a process against multiple competitors.
Yeah, that is probably a good point to make. Yeah, and Amy, do you have any questions about this?
I don't. You asked all the questions that I had,
Yeah,
satisfied.
okay. Cool. Well,
Thank you
thank
very much
you,
for your time,
Mark
everybody.
and Jay. Appreciate all the work you've done so far and all the work that may be coming in the future. I'll talk soon and good luck on your site visit, Mark. Are
Thank you.
the installers going to be there as well?
Yes, we plan to meet with them tomorrow morning.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for doing that. Thanks for doing the honors of receiving them, John.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, glad to have them. Right. Looking forward to it actually.
Yeah,
So
good.
yeah.
Okay. Well, you're free to hang around. If you want to hear John's general manager report and the second quarter financials, you're welcome to hang around, and it won't break our heart if you have other things to do.
Well, I'm sure you're hearing my three kids losing their minds downstairs, so I'm going to go try and put order back
Okay, okay.
inside and
Take care.
Go take care of your second job or your first job, probably.
exactly. Thank you so much for the time, everybody. I look
Thank you,
forward to
Okay.
everyone.
Okay, good to see you again.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Good deal. You ready for me, Alexa?
Yes, it's your
I'm gonna be,
turn.
I am going to be short and simple.
Okay.
Yeah, and to the point. Operationally, I didn't even write one because there really hasn't been, it's been business as usual from an operational, standpoint, which is good. Anytime there's not a lot to write a narrative on, that's a good thing. The biggest thing just operationally from day to day, we're still waiting on an answer from, insurance on the number 2C9. Not that it's unexpected. I'd worked to expedite the process, but I didn't really expect that because of what it is with insurance. But we made it through really the peak demand times. Where number one and number three had to share. So we're going into where number four, the little MQ. Matter of fact, probably tomorrow morning I'll start it. As I was telling Mark, so we can talk and think in the power plant, when touring it, but still waiting on it. That's the biggest thing operationally that's going on. Everything else has just been, business as usual on that end. On the financials, Connie sent those to you guys, I think about 10 days or so ago. So I know you guys have been able to look over those. I'm just going to highlight them, and then of course we'll post these on the public website too for the public to review. It's a lot of numbers, so
Yeah,
going on
can you post Mark's presentation as well? Or Jay's
not on the public
presentation?
site because it's got limited, we'll have it where people can access it. Oh, no, wait a minute. You mean if it's in the form of like a PowerPoint?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, absolutely. No,
and I have
yeah,
it in PDF format,
yeah, we can do that. Absolutely. No,
and I'll
this
send
version.
that to you.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely, we can do that. And then, like I said, the financials too, but overall they look good. Everything is as it should be. I mean, it's a, small operation and budget. So we expect, revenue through just some highlights, revenue, actual was a little, what about 268,000? We budgeted about 241. Um, the difference in that and being higher is probably where we get the overages, for electrical use from the previous year. They stay really circulating until the end of actually the beginning of the next year when Hinton Burdick does the audit, then they move them back. So they just kind of stay until then. But my interpretation is income is right where it should be. It should be within a few dollars. So that's always good to see there.
Okay. Remind me when you're done that I want to say something about the insurance and
Okay.
our loan.
Okay, certainly. The other big one, we always look at as an indicator is yeah, obviously repair and maintenance on the generators. And amongst that, of course, repair and maintenance is different from the fuel, obviously, but repair and maintenance looks good. We had budgeted 15,000. We got about 4,600. Now, here's the deal with that. We had two big expenses, obviously rebuilding number two and then the water main break. those expenses were capitalized per GAAP principles. So it looks a lot better on our second quarter to have those capitalized as they should be. You know, by definition, when you do restoration or rebuild something, then that expense becomes a capital expense. So it makes sense. It still costs us cash, which we have very little of now. So from
How much is on our reserve account now?
I think we got about $7,000 in there. Connie can comment exactly. Oh,
Uh, I can't hear you.
Connie's muted. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are. Yeah.
Okay, I want to say it's like 12. So the plan is to this month we need to pay that final bond, which is like 27,000. So we'll be taking care of that this month by adding to that reserve and getting that taken care of. So next month we'll kind of get back into contributing either to the bond or a generator rebuild or whatever is needed there, or some other emergency that comes up.
So we're probably going to be out of compliance with our loan and in terms of reserves by the end of the year.
Oh, we always have been. No, we
Yeah.
took.
I think we were in compliance last year, but
Well, sort of. Yeah, that would
yeah,
that
we
would have
had
been
enough money. We hadn't
Yeah.
like put it in all these separate accounts, but
Yeah.
there's
And
enough
yeah.
money there.
the plan is to start contributing monthly, and I kind of broke it down into what's needed to, you know, be able to pay the bonds next year. So we need to really start contributing that back into the reserve account and don't touch it, you know, so that that's taken care of. So that's the plan.
My toes are crossed too, just to, you know.
No, it's a steep hill because I'm on the compliance things, which, you know, if you had to say out of the last 10 years, last year it might have been in compliance for a while, but also we're supposed to be putting back the amount of depreciation, which at 150 grand a year, you know, that's not going to happen either.
Yeah.
So, but you know, again, expense wise, we're good. Capitalizing those is nice. It does make sense when you're restoring something, you are adding life, but it does cost money that you no longer have. But fuel wise, we had budgeted 120,000 year to date. You know, we're 240 for the year, so half the year, obviously 120. We spent 77, almost 78,000, so that's good. Fuel is one of those things. I mean, we've made it through the peak part of the year where, you know, your load demand is higher and typically pricing is higher too. So that looks good. You know, the tell-all is end of the year, you know, when it's all said and done. But and of course, as part of that, we have not had to levy any fuel surcharges. So again,
That's
you know,
good. That's good in terms of workload too, isn't it?
yeah, it is. Oh yeah. Yeah, you got it. Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah, no, and it's, you know, it's luck. I mean, we don't control the prices. We look at them, but at the
yeah.
end of the day, we're, you know, we're ordering when we need it. But anyway, we haven't incurred that, so that's good. But our total expenses too, you know, we budgeted right about 248,000 for the half a year. We're about 193. So we're about 55,000 under, a little bit more. So that's good on expense wise.
Yeah, it's good. It's just a little scary that we're completely not in control there. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
one oil rig blows up in the Persian Gulf or down in Texas,
yeah.
and there goes our overage.
Yeah, exactly. No, we don't have any. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's just luck, and like you said, things out of our control. There's no expertise involved in that really. If when you need it, you need it. So yeah, I'd love to take credit for that, but there's none to be taken. But yeah, overall, on our net income, we had budgeted about a $7,000 loss, and a lot of that has to do with I think I mentioned before in prior meetings that we had to include depreciation this year, which where we hadn't. So that was normal. It looks bad on paper, but in actual, you know, depreciation is not real money, obviously, to a large degree. But anyway, we budgeted a -7. We're showing actually a positive of 83,000. So we're about 90,000 up to where we budgeted. So that's always good to see that, you know. And again, capitalizing those costs really, you know, really help that out. But Connie continues to work. You know, the ultimate goal is to divorce the accountant. it's tougher than it looks because again, small entity, very regulated, and you still have a lot of things to do. Not as simple as it looks. So we're still working on divorcing those guys completely. And Connie's made good strides by being the one that produces these financials you
Mhm.
guys see, but it's a we knew it would be. So no
Yeah,
shut up.
so do you think that there's and that they're hoping that it'll be all transferred by the first of the year? Is that a reasonable hope, or would that
Uh
be asking too much?
no, here's why. Because well, first of the year after we do the audit, because since Larson's still involved,
Mm-hmm.
we do have to get their help again with the audit. So I think realistically, March if we can do that. Uh,
Yeah.
but it's
So
still
then by January we can be off the leash and just
well, we
do
hope.
do do our own thing and then finish up at Larson after the audit.
Well, Larson would be involved in the audit because they do get involved and provide some
Right.
of that stuff to Hit and Verdict. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would say March would be the
There,
aiming
there
point.
are things that I can't do, like the depreciation, the final adjustments. There are things that I can't. I'm not an accountant. I can't do that stuff. So we're always going to need them to be involved, and it's also kind of a safety net thing
Mm-hmm.
where, since we're regulated so much, that it's a good thing for them to be involved, not only with the audit but with the financials on a quarterly,
Mm-hmm.
and they do the bank reconciliation. So that's
Yeah.
all,
So would it be the time to talk to them to not charge us $750 a month for
yeah.
doing one bank
Well,
reconciliation?
it's been reduced drastically since we took more of the tasks of like the quarterly financials with the state and TAP and other things. So, and plus they don't do any payroll. So a lot of that's been taken off.
Yeah, so it was reduced a while ago
Yeah.
by 250, but I'm thinking that now you've taken over a whole bunch of that work. We're still overpaying.
Yeah. So
And then they charge extra if they wanna if we want them to do something for the audit.
yeah,
Uh,
we can talk. I did send him an email a while back and sent the last contract, which was when the previous management was here, and it named everything that they did. And I was saying, hey, a lot of this that you guys aren't doing anymore. So that's when they reduced it down. But yeah, it should be looked at by probably the board and Larson to see,
yeah,
negotiate a new contract.
yeah, yeah. Maybe if I can do something, maybe you can all gang up on them. Like,
Yeah, I'll send it to you and you can look at
yeah,
it. I'll
yeah,
make some notes on what they're doing and
yeah. Maybe we should just get a video call together and just look them deep into the eyes and
Yeah,
saying, "Do you think you're being fair?"
yeah,
I
because
agree.
I got no response. So,
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to get
yeah,
in with one of the partners who I've spoken to in the past to
mhm,
get it reduced the first time. So we can get in
yeah,
with one of the partners. I want to say
yeah,
his name is Steve, but I'm not 100%. But
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Well,
yeah,
let's get through the PPA stuff first, and then pick that back up.
yeah, agreed, 100%.
Yeah, and thanks, Connie, for doing all that good work.
Yeah, it's a big help. No, that helps. That helps me out to be focused on other things, and then with the PPA and energy and growth too. So that's no,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a really good thing so that it helps everyone to understand, when we do have, now we have QuickBooks and we can look at those financials and understand them a little bit better rather than being sent a document, and we can go in
yeah,
depth,
yeah,
look at where everything
yeah.
is
And
made.
I remember how the first time around, John spent 3 months pleading with him to get the financials at the end of the
Oh yeah,
year.
yeah, oh yeah. No, they lose value. Yeah, that's it's a time money value and time information value that you lose. And no, as to what Connie said, to be able to look at them instantaneously and adjust, and it's just
Yeah,
more natural to discuss them daily and weekly
Yeah.
just to be more on top. It's just much more intuitive because you see them, right there.
Right, and you have much more sense of control of what's going on rather
yeah.
than just getting a random report every 3 months and go,
Yeah.
whoa.
Communication is required too with
Yeah.
them to let them know things they don't know, like what adjustments were made and what they were for and all of that. So it's a learning process definitely for us, for me.
Okay.
But that, like I said, we'll post these, for public too. Obviously it's, warranted and they can see that and look these over. And anybody has any questions, they're welcome to reach out, anytime. But now that wraps up the financials and yeah, to what Mark and Jay were saying too, with the energy and the problems with the generators, they start the minute they start running. I mean, again, you guys have heard me say this, that you got a piece of machinery with thousands of moving parts, something can go wrong at any time. And, recently you heard me talk about the number three having an error. It was a loose wire. The first tech couldn't fix it. The second one, and I get it. I've been in situations where two guys equal competencies, it can get you, but it took a second guy out to fix one loose wire that was causing issues. And you're probably not going to get that with solar, and Jay made a good point. It does break. So I appreciate his and Mark's transparency because that is true. But I think statistically, there's a lot less likely to break because you have so many less moving parts on solar. It's solid state.
Well, and it doesn't break all at once. I think that's
Exactly.
good.
Yeah.
Even if it breaks, if a couple of panels
Yeah.
go out, then you still have the 798 other ones.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought about that. I guess, I mean, I started to say, well, look, the ones that TUID, the panels they do have been working. I'm like, well, do they? Because we don't have the capacity to know if they are or not. They appear to be. They do power the pumps, but honestly, half of them could be out and still power the well pump because of how they're.
Right, so you would never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, that's that and the money and the savings, a lot much less risk with
Yeah.
that. So that's why I'm excited to see
Talking
that.
about that, I have I've had an email correspondence with the people at the Community Impact Board
Yeah.
that they're managing our loan. And the way, if if under the terms of the loan, we would be allowed to not replace the generator that caught fire and just take the money from the insurance.
Okay.
Since when we get all those solar panels and the batteries, then we have no immediate need for another generator, and we're really, really short on cash.
Yeah, agreed.
So that we build up a new buffer in case the next section of weathered water line breaks and cost us $50,000. The way to do that, and no one is speak for Mike, and he mentioned that he has some concerns of not having a backup for the solar, and the way the two C9s were meant to work together. So I don't want to make like a decision right now, but the CIB, Candace Powers, who was also already at CIB, that's how I find her. Her name was on the documents from 2013. And then I saw that she was still working there. She just that it might require their board's approval, and the way to get that is to send a letter to them requesting not replacing the generator and counting on the solar panels. And they have meetings every 3 months, and the next one is going to be one of the first days of October. So I'm thinking that we should send them a letter that asks for approval, and to go that way if we reach agreement with Altris about the solar panels, and the insurance allows a payout in cash rather than a replaced generator, that we're then allowed to just count on the solar panels to generate enough power and thus enough income for us to pay back the loan. I think we'd be in a much better position to pay off the loan if we not replace the generator and go with solar than if we were just to keep working on the generators. So I think they would approve it. I think we can make the case that the chances of paying off the loan are increased by this change and not decreased. Because clearly it doesn't change our obligation to pay it off. So I was just starting to write a letter, just writing that all up, hopefully in a more linear fashion than I go through it now. And
Well, I think timing wise, Alexa, with the guys down here tomorrow, I can see that too. I think there's risk in either way. You know, the tipping point for me is the finances, and yeah, you know, for the water main, as I mentioned, the one that broke, it looked like the other. It's not a question of if it's going to break, but when. You know, because of the condition of the pipe. If you guys remember that, and the UV damage. Um, you know, hindsight's always 2020 looking back, but yeah, the financial portion would tip me to say don't. But having those guys come down here who do this every day, that are the experts, I think it's good timing to get their input and ask about that, you know, too, from an engineering standpoint.
yeah.
So I'll certainly bring that up tomorrow and
Yeah.
in the future too to these guys.
And I'll share the letter for suggestions for edits and other input that everyone may have. And I feel okay doing it at this point because it's not a final decision. It just keeps
Yeah.
our options open.
Yeah, agreed. That makes sense. Yeah, no, I mean, if you get the approval and you got an option to do it or not, that's better than waiting
Yeah.
too late. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and then when the insurance comes with their final verdict, then we'll probably have to make a final decision on as a board during an open meeting.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's let me know what if you need from me on that letter, but
Yeah.
it
And
sounds
I think I can't remember. I put in a blank and I thought John will have to fill that in, but
yeah,
can't
yeah, I'll do
remember
that.
what that was right now, but
Certainly. Okay.
I'll send it around. And I just started half an hour before the meeting, so it'll be
Yeah,
tomorrow sometime.
that sounds great. Good deal. No, that's
Right,
perfect.
I'm excited about these PPA guys.
Yeah, no, that's we all should be. You like you said, I thought it was since the 90s, TUID's been looking for solar, and you corrected me and said the 80s. So we're approaching 50 years. That's it seems like that's always been the intent. And there's no, you guys have heard me say this, the generators, there's no way out of it because they're gonna die many times over before the loan's ever paid. They can't support, their life cycle can't support
Right.
payments.
I guess that's a good
Yeah.
then that even from day one, the current revenue in Tickaboo does not support
Yeah.
paying off the loan and maintaining them.
Yeah.
It clearly
Yeah.
when this purchase was made, it was based on expectations of growth that just never materialized.
Yeah. I figured growth, and I think it was also the expectations of growth with solar eventually too, because even with growth, you're still stuck in that position to have to rebuild every 20,000 hours
Yeah.
on the best, you know. But yeah, no, I agree. No, there's no other way out. And I think solar was the intent way back when, and
Yeah.
it was expected far before now. So it'd be good to be
Yeah.
the, you know, help facilitate that be a reality.
Yeah. I think good things may happen.
Fingers crossed, like you said, toes too. And like
Yeah.
I said, hey,
Yeah.
that's why we bought donuts for these guys. So
Yeah. Yeah. They're
yeah,
worth their portion of fat and sugar
yeah,
for
you got it.
sure.
So no, we just keep in mind as you mentioned the meeting, we just and I'll look it up because I think this is a case. If you have a public meeting, if it needs to be a hearing to vote on the PPA, I'm not sure, but we
You
can
know,
confirm that before then.
I don't know It's
Yeah.
just kind of a purchase thing. I don't think that there are rules for it, but
Yeah.
it never hurts to have a
We
public
double,
hearing.
yeah, we can double check. I look in the little
And
manual
and
all the
either
time,
way,
you know.
we'll have a
So,
public conversation. If somebody shows up, I
yeah,
mean, who would have thought I'd miss the old board members at our board meeting?
yeah.
It's like, look at this, there's no one here.
Yeah, no, well, it's like I said, it's, silence is indication of good performance. So
Yeah,
I think,
yeah, that's true.
yeah,
It's a lot better than having everybody on complaining
yeah,
every
no,
time we meet.
yeah, no,
So,
everybody's
yeah.
been great. So I think it's all a good sign. But yeah, no, let's figure that out, and we can too. Either way, now we can accommodate it. So, uh,
Okay.
no,
Well,
excited to meet these guys. So
unless anybody has oh, meetings. So we're doing this public meeting on October 29?
if you whatever you guys decide, yeah, it's obviously up to you guys as a board, but yeah, that
Yeah.
uh,
I think Mike said it worked and you said it worked, Amy, didn't you? Yeah.
Unless anything comes up, yeah.
Yeah. So where are we going to do this? Can you check if Moki is available or should we look at other options?
Yeah, I'll see what's going on. It's right now packed with some stuff that we'll need to move around, but I'm sure we
Yeah.
can come up with something.
Yeah, or then we can ask the church.
yeah, I can,
The-
yeah, as Plan B, I can reach out to Patrick. We just have to
Yeah.
sign an agreement. It's pretty general, which is fine, but
Then we don't use bad language and smoke.
yeah, that's
I
it.
think I can manage that for an hour.
Yeah, no, we can do both, whatever's convenient, and
Yeah.
which we can certainly pivot. So they were, as long
Yeah.
as there's nothing conflicting going on there. I wouldn't think there would be, but um, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
We do have the rally that coming weekend, so I don't know if they'll be doing food prep in there or not, because we are doing it in-house this year.
Oh, the
That's-
weekend after that is the rally?
No, it's that week,
Oh,
the
okay.
day
So,
after it starts. So that
oh,
would be the only thing. I'll just,
yeah,
I'll check into it, but
yeah,
if,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'll
Well,
check into
between
it.
you and John, you should be able to. I'm just counting on the two of you figuring out spot for us.
yeah,
That's
we'll
okay.
do it. Certainly. Well, we just also, as I mentioned too, for meetings, we got to do something in November because that's when I got to look again to make sure my memory, but we do adopt the draft and then do a public hearing in December
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
formally adopt it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
those can be quick. I mean, well, obviously the adoption meeting in November, typically mid to end, third week, somewhere around there, if we can swing it, with Thanksgiving and everything. But I'll
Yeah,
get back on
can
that.
you find us a date and then maybe send out the schedule
Yeah, certainly.
to everyone with the October, November, and December meeting?
Okay, we'll do.
Just and I know there are rules about having these dates available far in advance and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we can get it ironed out. No,
Yeah.
we can, like I said, we can make the adoption, like if there's November meeting, it could be specifically for that. If there's no other business, so we can make them quick and professional on that. And then of course the December just has to be a 5:30 for a public hearing, but it's normal.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
Anybody, anything else? If not, then I'm ready for adjournment.
All righty.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
And I second that. And everybody in favor, aye,
Aye.
bye.
Okay. You guys have a good night. All right, thank you guys. All right, have a good one.
Okay.
Alexa, bye-bye.
Thank you. I'll see you next time.